Hi, my name is Raghav Sharma, and today I'll be presenting my thesis on identifying shift in social norms in online communities, supervised by Dr. Neera Vajmeri. So, what are social norms? Social norms are informal rules that govern the behavior of groups and societies, providing conformity and predictability to human nature and society. Understanding the shifts in social norms is paramount to the fields of sociology, psychology, and public policy. Understanding shifts in social norms opens a constructive dialogue and helps to bring positive change in society. So, to do this, we have devised an action plan where Reddit submission data was analyzed from 2005 to 15 to identify these shifts. These submissions were picked from top 100K subreddits. This data was extracted from the push shift Reddit dumps in ZST format. Four main components were defined to identify the shifts in social norms to create an integrated pipeline: data preprocessing, training open prompt model for identifying norm violations, inference pipeline, and time series analysis using PyCaret. In data preprocessing, there are three main components: ZST data extraction, comment data extraction, and comment tagging. As our initial files were in ZST format and had an excess number of columns, the ZST data extraction component converts the file from CSV to CSV and extracts meaningful columns like creation date, number of comments, submission IDs, and subreddit name. Comment data extraction works by querying the submission ID extracted from the XZST data extraction to extract a commentary and also converts the created date to YYMMDD format. The comment tagging part iterates through the comment tree structure and checks each comment for predefined non-violation categories such as racial slurs, homophobia, incivility, harassment, and self-harm. The array preceding the violation comment is saved as context, and if there is no violation found in the commentary, then two random sentences are picked from the commentary and are tagged as no violations. After that, the data is divided into two eras of 2005 to 2010 and 2011 to 2015 respectively. After that, open prompt model is created, which is a prompt-based learning model which uses BERT as its backbone and considers context of a comment in order to identify whether a comment is violating a social norm or not. It has three main components: prompt template. The prompt template provides a basic structure of prompt which will be queried, and it will contain the context and the comment which will be queried to the model. The input example objects must be created based on the fields required by the prompt template. Second part is the prompt verbalizer, which has the role to tokenize the sentences and provide example words for each category of norm violation. It tokenizes not only the sentences but also the context behind the sentences. Data loaders are used to feed the data to open prompt model, and this data is formatted in input example objects. This is used to train and test the models. After the model is trained, we use inference pipeline to generate inferences, which has four major components such as inference data generator, inference trainer, inference data pipeline, and inference generator. Now, inference data generator is used to divide the data which was earlier divided into eras to divide it further into training and inference data. The training data is used by inference trainer and retrains the already trained model. This is done in order to negate any possible model drift. After that, the inference data is picked by inference data pipeline and divides it into batches of 20,000 entries of input example objects and uploads it to AWS S3 as PyTorch checkpoints. Inference generator uses these checkpoints and the new trained models generated by inference trainer to generate inferences, which is again divided into batches of 20,000 entries and uploaded to AWS S3 as PyTorch checkpoints. Now, after the inferences are generated, we use time series analysis to identify shift and social norms. To do this, we use PyCaret, and for our analysis, we have done time series analysis from 2006 to 2012. PyCaret time series model is created for each category of social norm violation, and initially the data was collated from various inference checkpoints, and incidents of each social norm category, each social norm violation category was counted throughout the years. PyCaret was used to allows user to compare a variety of time series models and pick the best one for each category. And to do so, we use evaluation metric as RMSE scores. Now we will be comparing a model to identify and evaluate how it performs in two contemporary models. So to do so, open prompt model was compared to BERT model on two variants: models where no external context was provided for the violation comment, and models where context was provided for violation comments. And four parameters were picked for evaluating the model, which was training loss convergence, training time taken, inference time taken, and F1 microscores. When the models were compared on training loss convergence, it was found that OpenPrompt model has outperformed BERT model for both the variants where the external context was provided. The BERT losses converged from 1.6 to 1.2, whereas OpenPrompt model converged from 0.2 to 0.1. When external context was provided, the BERT losses converged from 1.8 to 1.6, whereas OpenPrompt model converged from zero point 0.8 to zero point 0.5. When training time was compared, it was seen that BERT took around 30 minutes whether external context was provided or not, whereas OpenPrompt averaged about 100 minutes if the external context was not provided, and 120 minutes if external context was provided. For inference time, both the models performed equally irrespective of external context was provided or not. They both took about 8 minutes for around 15,000 entries. F1 microscores were used to measure the model inference performance as it considers class imbalance. While comparing both models for when no external context was provided, it was seen that BERT performances improved from 55% to 65% over 5 epochs, whereas for OpenPrompt model, it gave 94% on the first epoch and stagnated for further epochs. While comparing F1 microscores for a model when external context was provided, it was seen that OpenPrompt models performance stagnate at 67% plus minus 1% variation, whereas for BERT, it stagnates at 55%. While comparing the models on Golden Set, which was manually tagged, it could be seen that the training losses for BERT convert from 1.25 to 1.02, whereas for OpenPrompt, they convert from 1.6 to 0.02 over 5 epochs, showcasing that OpenPrompt converges faster than BERT, as well as for F1 microsource, it can be seen that BERT performed consistently at 68%, whereas for OpenPrompt model, the F1 scores are 72%, except this outlier, showcasing it has outperformed BERT. OpenPrompt model has outperformed BERT again. For our results and conclusions, we see that for Rachel extra regressor gave the best performance, and we can see from 2006 to 2011 the number of cases increases rapidly, and then there is a more gradual decline, except this 2012 outlier. Uh, for homophobia, we can see that gradient boosting regressor gave the best performance for homophobia category, and it can be seen even though the model initially struggles, it catches up pretty well, and the number of cases increases from 2006 to 2011 and then sharply decrease after 2011. For incivility, gradient boosting regressor again gave the best performance, even though it cannot accurately capture the outliers. It performs pretty well, where the number of cases increase from 2006 to 2011 and then gradually decrease. For harassment, again, gradient boosting regressor gave the best result, where from 2006 to 2011, in early 2011, the number of incidents rapidly increase and then decrease in a more gradual manner. For self-harm, the decline is extremely sharp from 2006 to 2012. There's a gradual increase from 2011 onwards. It is a sharp decrease, and gradient boosting regressor gave the best results for it. So following conclusions can be drawn from our analysis. For time series analysis, which was conducted from 2006 to 2012, we can see a rapid decrease for incidents across all norm violations, which means their society is moving towards a more rigid stance on intolerable behavior. The overall architecture deployed to identify shifts in social norms is successful in its task and can be easily modified to identify other norm violations. Open prompt model can be deployed to identify norm violation based on the context of the sentence, making it applicable across different subreddit communities. For future work, the users should focus on incorporating more data, making comment tagging better by hiring a wide variety of people for ethnic backgrounds and cultural backgrounds, and reducing training time by using better machines. Thank you.